Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details. Representing the men and women on sporting fields across the globe, and especially in Port Adelaide and deep South Australia, two blokes leading the charge that it's okay to be a little bit crap as long as you try hard. It's now time for another Best Team Men podcast.
Well, how about that for a new intro?
Very, very good. It's good to be back.
We go away for a week and we come back and everything's new.
Yeah, we had a pre-season bye.
We did have a bye.
Yeah, because we're just building up, aren't we? So do you know what round we're into now?
5.
Are you
Well,
sure?
it's round 6, but if we have a bye, it's game 5.
Okay, awesome.
If that makes sense.
Well, it's good to be here. They've been pretty busy. You've been pretty busy as well. Yeah, I don't know. I can't. Am I turning your mic?
You're turning me down. You're green.
Can you turn me down a bit, please?
Down.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Is that better?
Yeah.
All
Sorry,
right.
I'm just controlling
That's okay.
your headphones. Yeah, mate, it's been a busy couple of weeks.
Yeah, a lot of travel.
Lot of travel. So I've done the ICC Women's T20 World Cup, the qualifying matches. So I had first game in Sydney, which was Australia taking on India. India with the shock surprise victory. There was a bowler, a spin bowler, Poonam Yadav, her name was.
Right, I'd love to see Donald Trump pronounce that one.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen those videos? Tendulkar.
Virat Kohli. She was amazing, mate. She took a handful of wickets, and Shafali Verma is a 16-year-old who is a batter for
16.
India. She's 16, mate. How's this?
Has to take a time off school and
Well, funny you say that. You know that movie, is it Mulan? Not Mulan. Is it Mulan? The Disney movie?
not sure.
The-
Moana?
No, not Mulan. Wait, talk for a sec. I think it's Mulan.
Mulan. Not Moulin Rouge.
No, I think
not the
it's
adults version.
Mulan.
Right. No, I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
it's Mulan.
Okay, I don't have a kid. So
Okay,
no.
anyway, long story short is that she couldn't play cricket when she was growing up because no one accepted her.
Right.
So she cut her hair so she could play with the boys.
Ah.
And she's kept her hair short ever since then. And
Okay.
she's a gun mate. So she was the youngest player to score... it's either a century or a half century.
Okay.
She broke Sachin Tendulkar's record. As in like
Sachin.
fastest India.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she was great. Then I went to the basketball, watched the Boomers play in New Zealand.
Yes.
And then came back to Adelaide for a couple of days and then went back to Canberra.
Spent a couple of days in Canberra, didn't you?
A couple of days in Canberra.
Not much going on there.
Five games in 3 days.
Right.
Traditional rivals Thailand playing Pakistan, which was...
It's a traveller's nightmare, isn't
the
it?
Thai people were great, mate. Like they celebrated everything and they were very respectful because they
Were there many there for them?
Oh, about 3.
Yeah. Right.
They didn't expect to qualify, so that was good. And you're right, there's nothing, mate. Canberra.
No.
So at 10 o'clock, everything closes. So you want to get food afterwards, you
No.
can't. However, the Coles stays open till 11.
11.
So I went and got
Right.
some stuff from Coles and then
Well, that's exciting.
back here, then back to Sydney tomorrow for
Yep.
the semis.
Yes.
And then Melbourne on Sunday.
So you get the final?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yep. So
You
50,000
excited?
tickets already sold for that. Katy Perry performing. Yeah, it should
Yep.
be good, mate.
Awesome.
International Women's Day and... Mate, it's been good. It's been a big, exhausting journey,
Yep.
and I've missed you the most.
I've missed you as well. It's been a week.
Yeah, it's been a week. You got dirty with me because I gave another podcast a shout out on Twitter. And you really
It's
dirty.
just been a self-love for us.
No, that's fine. I agree with that. But you know what? I was just trying to promote
Nah, it's all good.
some young...
It was a heat of the moment thing. They've invited us to be on their podcast as well.
Yeah, they have. But we're very different podcasts,
Very
aren't
different.
we? Because theirs is quite...
Structured.
Hard-hitting,
Yeah.
structured. It could transition...
Yeah.
into a radio show like that. Ours is a bit loose,
Yep.
rough around the edges, but I like that though.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we get to just have a chat.
Bit of fun, have a
Yeah,
laugh.
it's a short podcast.
Yep.
Shout out to Glenn Aikman, who's listening in Yatla. He's back in there. He got arrested. He got
did,
involved
over the
with
weekend.
some nightclub venue owner who owes people money. So, so anyway, it's good to be back, mate. What have you been doing?
Not a whole lot. just my standard setup. Footy training's going well.
You're looking fresh, mate. You
Yeah,
lost a
thank
few
you.
kgs.
Yeah, still dropping them.
Yep.
Yeah, which is good. Game starts soon, so I've got a couple more to drop.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I'm just keeping a very close eye on the coronavirus.
Oh, yeah.
Might ruin my honeymoon, but that's all right.
Where were you going for that?
Italy. Yeah.
Well, I think
we're
I'm
going
not going to China.
We're going to Europe. Yeah, no, they've canned that game, haven't they?
Close enough.
Right.
Like, I don't think it's officially been canned,
Okay.
but it will be.
Makes sense. I think I heard somewhere that it's not so much the risk of getting sick, but it's the quarantine
Yep.
afterwards.
Yeah, I'm disappointed, though, because I tell you what, mate, like, geez, the outlet shopping there is good.
Yeah,
The
you go
good
nuts
Jordan
over there,
store,
don't you?
And I don't buy heaps, but I just like, you know what? When I go into a Nike store, it's like a museum. The Jordan stores over there, they're like museums, and I just go like looking at them.
Yeah.
I like looking at the stuff. I love NBA fashion.
So it's like looking online, but in real life.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And it, like as I said, I buy a T-shirt that says China,
Right.
or just China, have a good time. Yeah, great.
Great one.
No,
like
it's good
that.
to be back. So let's announce this off the top.
Yep.
We have adopted a side,
Yes.
and it's happening. Did we say this last podcast, or did we?
We didn't announce who it was.
Great. Are you sure? Because
No.
didn't I say drum roll and you hit the table?
Maybe you did.
Port Pirates.
Port Pirates.
We are on
Soccer
board
club.
with the Port Pirates. So
Yep.
their pre-season, I think, is almost over. They're into games now.
Games, yeah,
So when
yep.
I get back, we're going to go check out a Port Pirates game.
We are, yep. And hopefully we can tee up a bit of a training session with the boys as well. Run us through our paces.
That's going to be horrible.
Good video.
Yeah, great video. So that's good. What do you want to talk about on this episode, mate?
I was thinking the other day, there hasn't been a great sporting movie for a long time. You know how there was classics
Yep.
years ago. There's a new one coming out. I can't remember actually who's in it. I think it's a basketball one.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, he's clean now and he's sober.
Right.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
a college basketball coach.
That's the
isn't
one.
he?
Yeah. So I noticed that's coming out, and it got me thinking about some of the old classics that you and I probably used to watch when
Yeah.
we were growing up.
Yep.
So, off the top of your head, have you got
Yep.
any that you used to
Yeah, I do.
really get around?
Yep. Okay. Special mentions,
Yep.
and then I'll get into my 3, 2, 1.
Sure.
Okay. Special or honourable mentions. I would like to go Happy Gilmore.
Nice.
That's a pretty nice one.
Yep.
Now, if I mention one that you have,
Yep.
don't
No,
tell me. So
no.
we will just go through our list. Also, an honourable mention: the Sandlot kids.
Yeah, amazing.
Really, really good. I think they had a bit of a crossover there with the Mighty Ducks franchise as well, because it's some of the same actors
Same
in
actors,
that.
yep.
But great movies growing up. So let's get into my 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
Okay. One vote, Basketball, which is the guys from the South Park movies, which is
Very
hilarious.
funny.
Very funny
Yeah.
movie.
Not a bad game, actually.
Not a bad game.
Yeah.
No, I do like that. And that was right in the midst of South Park, which I loved as well. So it was very good. Adult humour. 2 votes, Varsity Blues. James Vanderbeek from Dawson's Creek. And that, I
Yeah.
thought that was a good...
What was the big fella's name? Bobby?
Bobby, maybe. Yeah, he was a big
Billy
boy,
Bob.
was he?
Billy Bob,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I liked that. I really, really liked that
They went to the
growing
strip
up.
club and saw their teacher.
That's
was
correct.
a dancer. Yeah.
Yes. 3 votes. My favourite sporting movie of all time, Coach Carter.
Okay.
I don't think anything beats that movie. I love it.
Yep.
I haven't seen movies like Remember the Titans,
Really?
Major League and things like that. So you're right. There's not many iconic sporting movies out. Go.
My honourable mentions, and you didn't actually mention any of mine. That's
Great.
astounding. Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, good movie.
Love Jerry Maguire.
Yep.
One of my favourites of all time.
It's like a love story crossover
Yeah.
sporting thing. They're
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Tin Cup.
Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
Is that about baseball?
No, it's golf.
Great.
Yeah, it's
obviously
golf.
I'll pay heaps of attention.
No, it's a really good movie.
Okay, haven't
so I
seen
quite
that.
enjoy that one. Okay, my top 3. Major League.
Right.
Belter.
Tom Selleck?
Charlie Sheen.
Great. I'm just throwing out actors' names. Great.
Yeah. 2 votes. Cool Runnings.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
I love Cool Runnings.
Yeah, I should have thought of that one. That's a great movie.
Yeah, Sunker.
Do you reckon they'll try and remake it?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I
good
hope
movie.
not.
Rest in peace, John Candy.
Yeah. And my favourite is the Mighty Ducks trilogy. Probably 1 and 2 more than 3.
We need to discuss this.
Okay.
Okay. So they start off as District 5, right? And
That's
you get
right.
this lawyer, Emilio Estevez, who
Yep.
takes his limo onto the ice, could have killed them all.
Yeah. Well, he got done for drink driving and had to do community service. That's why.
He did. So there's a couple of things in this movie, right? So forget the first one where they play, is it the Blackhawks they play?
Yes.
And Adam Banks, the cake eater, it's the big face-off between him and Charlie Conway,
Yep.
who's Pacey from Dawson's
Creek.
Creek. Okay. So they get to the next one and they get to go to the Junior Goodwill Games and they are playing for Team USA.
Yes.
In what sport do you see pretty much your whole local side get selected to play for not the state, but for the country?
Yeah.
So they've looked all around.
So the Blackhawks have won the last however many pennants.
None of them make it.
None of them make it.
No. They get a cowboy from Texas. They get some guy from Mexico who
They get
can't
a
stop.
figure skater from San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're all from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
They sure are.
Yeah.
So they put on their USA tops and they play against Iceland,
yeah.
which is great.
Gunner Stall.
Gunner Stall.
Yeah.
Adam Banks has decided to join this side as well. Fantastic.
Good on him.
Good on him, the cake eater.
Yeah, he went after a championship and he got it.
They're losing when it comes to, I think, after the second period.
Yeah.
They go into their change rooms and they're not happy.
No.
And Emilio Estevez, Gordon Bombay, does his hype. And he's like, this is not us. We are not this. And then the old guy, I can't remember his name.
Hans?
Hans
Yeah.
walks in and goes, no, you are ducks. And then they do this whole...
Ducks fly together.
Ducks fly together.
Yeah.
And then the cowboy goes, when the cornfield doesn't taste like a cow I just rode. Duck. And everyone looks at him and goes, ducks fly together. So this is what they do. They change their jersey.
Yes.
And they skate back out and they go, woo! The Bash Brothers are here. First of all, I'm sure that is not regulated that you
No.
can change your jersey and your name
Yep.
to be the USA Ducks.
Ducks. No.
So they end up winning.
I've got another point. Actually, two things I want to bring up about the Mighty Ducks. That same season,
Yeah.
so the Junior Goodwill Games, I don't know what happened to Gordon. I can't remember, but I think there was one game where he didn't rock up or...
He was seeing the trainer.
He was seeing the trainer, but...
Eastland.
Something happened. He couldn't be there for one game, and the umpire comes over, or the ref comes over and says, if you don't have a coach, you're going to have to forfeit.
Yes,
Charlie turns around and sees the tutor, Miss McKay,
that's right.
and says, there's our coach, Coach McKay. Now, Gordon Bombay's been in the news a little bit.
Yeah.
You'd like to think that the umpires know who the coach
And
of
has she
Team
got like her B license?
No, exactly.
So she's not a sanctioned coach, and now she's coaching Team USA.
That's right.
Which is ridiculous. And then old mate Cowboy decides to get a lasso and get one of the Iceland guys on the ice.
That's right.
That's not a penalty. That's disqualification, mate. You can't
That's
bring
almost,
a rope
it's
onto
almost
it.
jail time.
So they move on to the next Mighty Ducks, D3,
Yeah.
the Mighty Ducks. And they all go to college.
Yes.
Which is brilliant. So they all coincidentally get scholarships to the same college. Outstanding. The Bash Brothers are there.
That's right. No, only one of them.
Oh, sorry. The other one's off doing his own thing.
Whatever he's doing,
But he
yeah.
makes a surprise entrance at the back.
He comes in the
for
end.
last
Dean
game.
Portman, yes.
It's like Dean Portman goes, hey, mate, we need you for a...
He comes in at half time.
Yeah, we need you for a period of ice hockey.
So in
Here's
the
a
second one,
scholarship.
they've changed names and changed jerseys,
Yeah.
and in the third one at half time of the final game,
Yeah.
they bring in a new illegal player.
Yeah, and they win again.
And they win again.
Yeah, look.
But the funniest thing, I saw it the other day because I love looking up people where they are now and what they look like
Yes.
and what they're doing. Anyway, there's a clip on YouTube, and the actors from the Mighty Ducks trilogy get introduced at an Anaheim Mighty Ducks game.
Yep.
For the ceremonial first drop of the puck
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Anyway, they're running through the names and they're like, this is so-and-so from, she played Julie the Cat Gaffney, and she walked out, and then
Yeah.
there was probably 5 of them anyway. And then they just announced, this guy just goes, and this is so-and-so, Russ Tyler's brother.
Have you seen what Goldberg looks like now?
Oh, he's a mess.
Yeah.
He's a mess.
It's bad.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think that's good. We should almost, you know what we should do? Maybe every second episode. So we should give each other 2 weeks to watch it.
Okay.
We'll watch one of the old sporting movies.
Yep.
And come in with flaws of it.
Okay, yeah.
Like we've
I
got
like
to
it.
come in and discuss that.
Yep.
And talk about flaws of these childhood sporting movies, because I
Yep.
think that was a good analysis.
That was.
We didn't even prepare for
No,
that.
that was just straight off the cuff.
How much we've watched the Mighty Ducks. The other thing which was weird, when it was first released, it was called Champions, the first one.
Yes.
They changed the name to Mighty Ducks.
Yes.
And I wonder if... I can't work out still if the Anaheim Ducks had their shirt before or they got it after.
It was off the movie.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. So,
Because Disney would own the Anaheim Ducks, wouldn't they?
you would suggest Disneyland's in Anaheim.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's a bit of a connection. But
Yeah.
while we're talking about Adam Banks, he obviously wasn't a one-club player.
Yep.
Now, you wanted to talk about one-club players.
Yeah, I did. So I hosted the Adelaide 36ers Hall of Fame MVP dinner a couple of weeks ago. And it was great because the three inductees were Phil Smythe, Brett Maher, and Mark Davis.
Yep.
Now, all of them put together, apart from Phil's playing career, so Phil coached only at the Adelaide 36ers.
Yep.
Maher played only at the Adelaide 36ers. Davis played only at the Adelaide 36ers. And you can see the love that they have in the room for them.
Yep.
And it's interesting seeing a lot of NBA players now that, so say Paul Pierce, for example, he was at Boston, won a championship with the Celtics. Then he went to Brooklyn, went to the Wizards, the Clippers. And then what Boston said is, we want you to retire as a Celtic. So he went back to Boston, signed a one-day contract and retired.
Yeah.
I love the idea of being one club players. I love the romance to it, but I understand it just doesn't happen anymore. Like, it never happens now. But then, like, you see players like Nick Revolt, who was a one club player, Matthew Richardson, a lot of these big names. I reckon there's some romance in it still.
Yeah, I agree. Scott Pendlebury's one.
Yeah.
He's going to finish his career at Collingwood. But yeah, there's even, you would assume guys like Dusty,
Yep.
but then you look at other players that you would have thought were going to spend their whole career at one club, and for whatever reason they don't. The lure of a one-year contract to just keep their career going or something like that.
Do you think it is that? It's just the lure to keep their career going?
I think so. The old, you're a long time retired probably rings true with a lot of them. So if the opportunity comes up for them to go play 1 year somewhere else, I think that's more important to them than being a one-club player.
You were talking the last round to the last episode that we did about... is my voice going?
Yeah, it's like... Adelaide!
Okay, oh yeah. You were talking about your dad
Yes.
showing you his state Guernseys.
Yes.
Do you think the players went in hard on Friday night in the State of Origin game?
You know what? I was surprised.
Yeah.
They went in a lot harder than I thought they were going to.
They seemed to really enjoy it as
Yeah,
well. Like
they did.
What was good was it didn't turn into like an All-Stars EJ Witten game where they were taking the piss.
No, that's right. They had a crack. No, the ball movement was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like they were going at something, I think halfway through the third quarter, the stat was 88% efficiency by foot, which is streaks
people
ahead.
Need to get over the fact that it's like they go, no, it's not State of Origin, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I reckon they just need to get over it.
Yeah.
Like it's a generational thing now that, like an All-Stars game, people want to see the best players playing. They got to see the best players playing.
Yep.
State pride, I reckon, is not as strong as it used to be.
No, it's not ingrained into kids
No.
like it was.
No.
It would be cool, though. Like, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see a Vic versus SA game. I reckon.
SA would get smashed.
Would they, though?
Yes.
You reckon?
If you think of the best players who are playing for the local sides now, the best players that play for Port Adelaide are Victorian. Travis Boak is Victorian.
Yeah.
Ollie Wines is Victorian. Robbie Gray's Victorian. And that's Charlie Dixon's not South Australian. Like, you name
No,
a couple
I
of them.
understand all that.
Same with the Crows. Rory Sloane's Victorian. Taylor Walker's from Broken Hill. He's not from South Australia.
Yeah.
So,
But then you got a lot of SA kids playing in Victoria as well.
yeah. So, okay, well, let's talk about something. Brodie Grundy's South Australian.
Yep.
Shannon Hearn.
Yep.
Um,
Shane Edwards.
Lockie Neal, South Australian, is he?
Lockie Neal, Shane Edwards.
Yeah, but they're not going to beat Victoria. I'll fight you,
Okay,
and then
that's
I'll
fine.
kiss
Hey,
you.
I'm Victoria.
There it is, first one of the
Can
season.
we hug after?
What else do you want to talk about, mate?
You wanted to bring up some players on social media. Something's obviously caught your attention.
Yeah, so I've got to be very careful about how I talk about this because I am. Well, this season, I was an employee of the Adelaide 36ers.
Yes.
You saw what happened
Yes.
last Friday?
Yes. Also,
Yeah.
can we just go back to, I think it was round one, you might have actually called this happening, the removal of the coach.
100%.
Yeah.
I think I need to give an opinion on this because that's what I'm here for. So I'll be very careful how I say it. I think it's a good thing that we've parted ways
Right.
with the coach
Yep.
and some players.
Yep.
I think we need a complete refresh.
Yep.
The 36ers evolution is what we called it this year. I think I'm genuinely excited about next season because I don't know what it's going to be. But I know that the feeling with a few things this year, there was a bit of tension. So that is going to be a good thing that there's clean air and you start again. It's like the Crows, mate. But what Kevin White did on social media on Friday, the 36ers have a social media policy. I think every smart employer now does. If you're a business, right? If you're going to employ someone, before you look at their resume, you look at their social media, mate, and you see how they present themselves.
Of course.
That stuff is, some players, I think, use social media for good. I'm not saying what Kevin White did was bad, but I think you've always got to be so careful, especially when you're reflecting your employer.
It probably wasn't delivered really well, was it?
I don't think so, because then it just turns into a he said, she
Correct.
said, especially when Madronya, one of the younger players, came out and went at him.
Right.
It's just messy.
So is he gone? He won't play at Adelaide next year?
Kevin White?
Yeah.
He's got another year option, which
Right.
is a club option.
Okay.
So the club decide whether he stays.
Right. He might have
Which
just made that decision
I'm
for
pretty
him.
sure that decision has been made by
Yeah.
Kev then. So what do you think about athletes on social media?
I saw it as well on Twitter. It definitely surprised me because, sporting clubs, and I'm assuming basketball and that are pretty similar to footy in that everything you do and say tries to remain in a sanctum.
Yes.
In the four walls that you say them in. So I was a bit surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of his teammates and the club feel very let down by him.
Well, you know what, mate? If we had... Okay, you and I, we have a text message exchange.
Yep.
If that was made public, especially
I
from
hope not, yeah.
what happened, what we sent to each other a couple of years ago, or I sent to you a couple... We're both in trouble.
That's right.
Ultimately...
It probably cost you your job.
Definitely.
Would cost me my job.
Yeah. And that's where it's very, very dangerous
Yeah.
to release what you talk about with your mates.
Yeah.
That's
But
why
then-
you assume that it's private.
That's right. And there must have just been this absolute build-up of just...
Exactly.
And he just exploded.
And I felt that he decided to speak on behalf of the players who were getting tarnished in the media. So
Yeah.
there's a part of me that goes, I really respect that.
Yeah.
But you also, if you're going to come out and do that, you need to be prepared that you are squeaky clean as well.
Yeah.
Because it could come back tenfold.
Yeah.
Which would be very interesting. There's a guy who plays for Melbourne United, Mello Trimble.
Right.
And they choked Melbourne United the other night when they played against the Kings on Saturday night in Sydney.
Yeah.
They were up by double digits and the Kings came back and won.
Right.
And he wasn't in a good way mentally afterwards because of all the social media hate that he got. People
Right.
saying, don't play the next game. Last night, Melbourne United in Melbourne went on, I think, a 34-0 run and they won by almost 50 points
Right.
in the second game.
Yeah.
I think social media, mate, I'm learning more and more. Like I love Twitter for a news source.
Yes.
I'm boring on Twitter. I don't
No,
write
I don't
anything
mind some of
controversial.
your work.
Yeah, but I don't write anything that can... I'm protective.
Not
I
get
don't
you in
write
trouble.
stuff that generates hate.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
And if someone abuses me, I block them. Instagram, I like. I don't use Facebook heaps anymore.
Yeah.
I love social media, but I also know that your social media presence is very different to your real life one. I think I'm quite consistent in real life than I'm on social media.
Yeah, I
but
would say
other
so.
people can be very different.
No, it gives them a blanket to
Yeah.
hide under, doesn't it?
Yep.
I think it's easier to just type something and press send than it is to say the exact same words to someone
Exactly.
face to face. So I think that's the way a lot of people get around it. And
Yeah.
it can be damaging, but it can also be quite useful, like you said, for news sources and stuff like that. And
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's wrap this up.
yep,
And
I wanted to talk to you about something funny actually. So
Okay, well,
did
I'll
you-
be the judge of
Did
that
you
if
see
it's
the article about the two Matthew Sucklings
No.
during the week? So there was one that played for Nord.
Yes.
And the one from
Yeah.
now Bulldogs,
Hawthorn
ex-Hawthorn.
Bulldogs, yeah.
So there was a funny article that when Hawthorn drafted Matt Suckling,
Yeah.
they read out the number and the name of the Nord, Matt
No
Suckling.
way.
It was a mistake, yeah. So he was, obviously shattered and all that sort of stuff. And then there was another thing. So I think he was in talks with Essendon or something like that about going on a rookie spot or something, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, he sent an abusive email to Essendon, administration, the president and the footy ops manager,
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff, and saying that he was pissed off and didn't get drafted, and they said that he would, etc. And then when Nathan Bassett left Nord and went to Essendon, he tried to get this Matt Suckling over there to just play for their reserves and potentially, go for a rookie spot. And Essendon turned around and said, no, he sent us this email when we didn't draft him.
You're kidding.
We don't want him at our footy club. Yeah. So
Where was that article?
It was all over like Big Footy and all that sort of stuff. So that just goes about what we were saying about how doing something a little bit reckless like that can actually harm.
I've accidentally texted my boss once while I was on air saying like, "Oh, can't talk to my boss is being an asshole." I'm like, "Oh god!" And then I just wrote "lol" afterwards. didn't really help me. Thankfully, that boss isn't there anymore.
Okay.
What we should do every round, because we're getting into the footy season now, we should get a tip.
Yep.
We don't have to do the whole thing, but what I want to know from you,
yes,
because I know you're a massive women's cricket fan,
yep.
The semi-finals
yes.
Are between either England and South Africa and Australia, or India. So we'll find out today if Australia plays England or South Africa. So let's just assume that Australia will play South Africa and England will play India. Who's going to the final?
I'm going to go Australia.
Yep.
Megan Shute will take 4.
Yep.
And I reckon England will do India.
Australia, England in the final. Who wins the final?
Oh, I reckon we can get them. We got them last time.
Yep. I reckon it will be Australia, India, and Australia wins.
Imagine Australia, England at the G.
It'd be amazing.
It'd be huge.
There's a part of me that wants India to play, though, because their fans are amazing, man.
Yeah.
Like, they drown out the Aussie fans. They're awesome.
Yeah.
You just can't get a cab after the game.
No, or a pie at a 7-Eleven.
Oh, man, I wouldn't have said that, mate. I wouldn't have said that one, buddy.
Hey, come on.
Blow the siren. How do we get in touch on social media, mate?
At Best Team Man on Twitter and facebook.com/Best Team Man. And thanks again to Andy from the Oddscast Network for our brand new intro.
Oh, yeah, if you want to advertise as well, Podvertise. That's what you got to do. We'll get Andy back as well. Just got engaged, the big dog.
He did, didn't he?
What a legend.
His story was very funny.
Yeah, we'll get him on sometime.
Yes.
We probably won't.
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.